Oli the Goalie Tech Reviews. Guess who's back? Back again. Uh-oh, it's Magic. That's right. The Honor Magic V3 is back in my hands. I've said goodbye to Apple and back to Android. You know, it's funny. I really felt like my switch over to Apple was going to work. I was feeling really confident about, it all started with the love for the Apple Watch Ultra 2. And I really thought it was going to work out. Got the Ultra Watch, got the MacBook Air, got the iPhone 16 Max Pro. Great products, just not for me. Once you have this Honor Magic V3 and you've actually used this phone, it is so hard to go back to anything else. That's the reality. When I look at just how well this phone works, the hardware build, let's take for example, the fact that Samsung just released their new Z Fold 7, which is, I will give them credit, it's the best Z Fold phone they've made without a question. I've actually not held one yet, but just from the videos and seeing it online, definitely the best one they made. Super thin, nice big screen. One thing I will give it over the V3 is that the Samsung is very cut and sharp. So the lines are really sharp. There's not curved edges and that sort of thing. And I gotta be honest, I actually kind of like that when it comes to a phone. I like the fact that when you open it up, it's a perfectly square, sharp image, whereas the V3 is a little bit of the curved edges, but not a huge thing, and certainly not a deal breaker in a sense of not using this phone. Would I rush out and buy the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 anytime soon? Absolutely not. At $2,400 with a 4,400 milliamp battery, that's a rip. That's ridiculous, right? The 51, I think it's 5150 on the Magic V3 is far superior, gives you much longer life in the sense of day-to-day use. And to be quite honest with you, I haven't even come to a full day where I've gone through the battery. As a matter of fact, I think I'm at like 73%, and it is now 6:30 in the evening. Hey, Pepper. So even the battery life on this phone is so much better than the Z Fold, and at least from the perspective of size, I should be clear about that. I love the way this phone feels in my hands. You know, when I got rid of it to go back to the Apple, I really missed it, but I thought I was going to be okay. And as it turned out, I just wasn't. I love the fact that I can open this phone up, have this incredibly large screen to view internet, to take a look at Twitter, to create a document, any of those things. I also love that when I do my editing, especially through LumaFusion, I can actually do it on this screen. This is big enough for me to do my editing right on my phone. So now I don't have to worry about transferring over to my laptop or anything else. I can do it right on here. So that's also a fantastic plus. So what have I done? I've gotten rid of the MacBook. I've gotten rid of the the iPhone 16 Max Pro and the Ultra Watch 2. And I actually was able to, if you can imagine, I went onto Facebook Marketplace and I typed in Magic V3. And sure enough, there was a V3. And not only was there a V3, but it was actually my V3 from the person that I sold it to. I do a lot of back and forth business with this person. And he was actually having to do the opposite. He was going back to Apple. So as it turned out, I ended up getting my old V3 back, which I was thrilled about because I know how good of a phone it is. And I didn't have to, and of course I had an old S22 and he needed a secondary Android phone for I think one of his children or something. So he gave me like, I think it was $600 credit, if you will, for that as well. So I ended up getting my phone back for like $900. How can you go wrong, right? So so again, back to the story. I've got my Watch 7, my Samsung Watch 7, which I actually really like. And as a matter of fact, I think I like it as much or even more than that Ultra 2. I really love the sort of rectangular design of that watch, but once I put it on my wrist and was actually using it, I kind of not fell out of love with it, but I definitely like the circular design better. So I have my Watch 7. I also was able to get an open box Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra off of Best Buy for a reasonable price, a very reasonable price. And then I got the case, the Magic, I think it's called the Magic case, or maybe that's what the Apple one is. Anyways, the case with the keyboard. And then, of course, my S7. So this is why we're here today, to talk about this phone and why I love it so much, right? When we talk about the hardware on this thing, right now I'm in my backyard, the sun is shining, it's a real gorgeous night, so lucky to be here. I can still see this screen without any issue whatsoever, even in the bright sunlight. So I think this one, if I remember correctly, maybe, I wanted to say 2,000 lumens, but I know it nits. Pardon me. But I could be completely off on that. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I am. But extremely bright, incredibly great resolution, incredibly sharp image. When you look at this screen, it's fantastic to look at. And something, even as simple as if I'm looking at my Google Photos and I've got a picture of, I don't know, let's bring up Pepper the cat. It's just so nice to look at. The crease is there, but very limited, very minimal. Certainly probably as good as the new Z Fold 7, although again, I haven't seen it, so I can't say for sure. But incredible interior screen. The exterior as well is a fantastic screen. It looks great. It's super sharp. It feels good in the hands. And what I mean by that is it's just comfortable to reach all the different points of where you would need to be able to reach when you're using the phone one-handed. And it just feels great. The fact that even with a case on this phone as I have right now, it feels, in my opinion, as small or thin, I should say, as the Apple, the 16 Pro Max that I just recently had. That's really what's incredible about this, and really all new foldables nowadays, because they're getting so incredibly thin. Everybody knows about the idea of the phone being so thin that the USB-C barely fits in it. And that is something that is, it can only go so far. I think that currently it's 4.3 millimeters is the thinnest when open, and something like 8.89 when closed. I don't see it getting a whole lot better than that. As a matter of fact, I'll be honest, I wouldn't even mind if we added an extra millimeter or two on the thickness of this phone just to give more battery life. I'd love to see a foldable phone like the Magic V3, and of course we know the V5 has just come out, with say a 6,000 milliamp battery or more. If you know any of phones like that are out there, please put it in the comments. I'd love to hear about that. So, but just the idea of the build on this thing, how thin it is and how incredibly thin it is, there really is no fear. I have no concern with managing the phone. In other words, I'm not overly concerned about gently opening it and all these other kind of things. You can really give it a good opening. You can give it a good slam shut. You don't have to worry about that. It's fantastic for that. I mean, the build quality of this phone truly is incredible. The one concern that I had was going back to the cameras that came on this phone. They are not on the same level as the iPhone 16 Pro Max. They're not, very far off, but they're not quite there. I do a lot of my videos and my content using my phones. So for example, when I'm downstairs in my home theater room, this is the phone that I use to record. And I have to tweak the settings a little bit, but I'm able to do that. When it comes to the video, the JMGO projector downstairs, it's a triple laser projector, so the reds are very prominent, very strong, and the camera like this one picks it up. So you just have to reduce that a little bit to make up for it. But even the cameras, just taking a quick image here, if I go to my and let's bring that up. I don't know if that's actually in focus or not. I hope it is. the image quality is pretty darn good. As a matter of fact, as I look at this and I zoom in on that image, it's pretty darn good. So video maybe is where this phone is kind of lacking, but picture quality, it's pretty darn good. Let's take another one here of, oh, Pepper, don't move. I was just going to take a picture of you. Anyways, so yeah, picture quality on this phone, fantastic. Another thing that's really quite good is audio. You know, when you take this, this phone, the audio on it is fantastic. In fact, for the most part, I usually have my phone turned down to about 60% for the audio, or the volume, I should say, because it's so loud. And I'm, you know, getting up there, so a little bit deaf, a little hard to hear. So the most part, I'm usually turning phones up. So the fact that I'm actually turning the volume down on this phone is spectacular as well. And it speaks a lot to, I was going to say, it speaks volumes. You hear what I did there? To the sound of this phone. It's quite spectacular. And in fact, I will play just a quick little clip, but I don't want to go too long. Make sure we don't go over the 7 seconds. It really is spectacular. Android Auto works fantastic in my car. So I have a 2024 Nissan Ariya. It has wireless CarPlay, Apple CarPlay, which is great. It does not have wireless Android. Apparently there's an update coming out. So for now I'm using one of the Android Auto dongles. In fact, I'm using the Carsify, which was, I think, one of the original Android Auto wireless dongles, and it works fantastic with this. I literally jump into my car, turn on my car, and within seconds, I'm listening to music. So even the wireless Android Auto on this edition is great. Of course, this is a global edition, so everything works. The banking apps, the NFC, like all of that. It really is an amazing phone. I don't want to sit here and gush and you know, just fill space talking about how amazing this phone is, but I really absolutely love this phone. Again, would I, the V5, the Magic V5, the newer version, is pretty cool. It's a tiny bit thinner. I'm not really sure how much more technology there is. The island on the V5 is like massive from what I can see in the pictures. So I really love the fact that this case actually does a pretty good job in hiding it, but it isn't really protruding so much so that it's, you know, hard to get in the pocket and that sort of thing. So even the when it comes to the build quality of the camera and the island, it's kept at a level that is reasonable and not ridiculous like some of the phones nowadays that are coming out with these massive islands, and they try and say, oh, my phone is only, you know, 8 millimeters. Well, actually it's about 24 millimeters when you count the island. So that's another thing, but again, you know, you're just going to deal with that. That's the nature of having these, you know, telescopic wide angle lenses and all those sort of things. So it's not going to be a super long video. This video was really just to give you the great news that I'm back to Android. I'm back to my Honor Magic V3. I absolutely love and missed this phone, and I'm so glad to have it back in my hands again. So glad to be using it again, and really am quite excited to have it, as well as the rest of my Android stuff. So keep an eye out. I will be doing some updating videos. You know, I want to give this another month or so of using it so that I can go back and do, like, you know, a type of update video. So look for that. And you guys, if you like my videos, please don't hesitate to subscribe. Click the like button and the bell icon. Get the notifications. It's all free. It helps my channel. I'm literally about 42 subscriptions away from 1,000. I would love, love, love to cross that 1,000 level. So if you can, click the subscription, leave comments if there's anything that you'd like to see about the phone. I know that it's pretty old hat now. It's been out there for a while. Everybody's, not everybody, but lots of people have them. I love it. I am absolutely thrilled with it. And I know anybody who's kind of on the fence about getting a new phone, I would say without even holding or seeing the Z Fold 7, you're going to be far better off with a phone like this that is going to probably save you, you know, $600 or $700 versus what the new Z Fold charges. And you know, it's a great operating system. Everything about this phone is great. So thanks for watching. Have a great Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk again soon. Take care. The like button and the bell icon, get the notifications. It's all free. It helps my channel. I'm literally about 42 subscriptions away from 1,000. I would love, love, love to cross that 1,000 level. So if you can, click the subscription, leave comments if there's anything that you'd like to see about the phone. I know that it's pretty old hat now. It's been out there for a while. Everybody's, not everybody, but lots of people have them. I love it. I am absolutely thrilled with it. And I know anybody who's kind of on the fence about getting a new phone, I would say without even holding or seeing the Z Fold 7, you're going to be far better off with a phone like this that is going to probably save you, you know, $600 or $700 versus what the new Z Fold charges. And you know, it's a great operating system. Everything about this phone is great. So thanks for watching. Have a great Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk again soon. Take care.